And much like the Quake World Championship, the first map will be predetermined. And then the loser of the first map will obviously be able to choose the next map as that bit of advantage. Now, already Garpy has gone in for Doomguy and Sorlag together with a bit of Nyx. Noctis has gone in for Nyx and Sorlag as well, but the difference is that he has an Anarchy instead of Doomguy. Now, what kind of dynamic do you think that's going to bring to the table? Whereas we have a mirror of two champions with the Sorlag and Nyx, but then we have the variable, you know, which in Garpy's case was Doomguy.
Well, I think a big part of this is Doomguy's ability to dodge rockets, right? Like his double jump making his movement very unpredictable, very sporadic in those sort of close-up encounters. And Anarchy doing very much the same, but just being overall a lot weaker, you know, having a lot lower health, but being a bit faster. Doomguy, we haven't seen as much of him competitively because he's a newer champion, and we didn't really see him at QuakeCon because he wasn't legal at that tournament because he basically came out the day the tournament started, near enough. But there's always the chance that, you know, perhaps Noctis hasn't played against Garpy's Doomguy before. You know, maybe he has. Obviously, you know, we know that a lot of people have been trying him out at the very least. Probably Noctis himself has even given him a go. But I think the big thing is Anarchy, right? Is that try to treat it's Blood Run as well. We have to remember it is Blood Run, and Anarchy has already proven to be a big, dangerous force on this map specifically. But there's a couple of things that Anarchy is going to be able to do risk-free, and Doomguy is going to be very similar now, automatically popping that Berserk to get that instant speed boost, trying to secure that heavy armor. Unfortunately, took a bunch of damage in the meantime, but actually on the verge of losing Doomguy early on. This could be an early frag, and Noctis chasing it down. A lot of confidence in his play. He knew he was going to secure that one. Yeah, Noctis just had no intention of letting him go at any point. Garpy lost a lot of health early, and Noctis just stuck to him like glue until already the first frag is down, less than 30 seconds into the first round. He's going to do what he can to sort of pepper some rockets down there. Forced to go in for the armor, but a little bit too predictable. I think Noctis was lying and waiting, but is it going to be enough to survive? 1 HP! Oh my days, and he chases it down, and he gets a close range rail. After a couple of those acid spits missed, I mean, that could have been disastrous, but Noctis with the recovery. I mean, Noctis, again, no hesitation. He went straight in again. That is just that bravery, right? You know you're calculating how much damage you're doing, and I mean, we saw Garpy was left on 1 HP. Noctis must have just had a feeling that's what Garpy was left on, but already Noctis has this massive lead. 2 champions up on Garpy right now, left with this Nyx by herself, and it's going to be a bit difficult now. We're already a minute into this one, and Noctis with a colossal lead.
4 seconds away, and the acid spit's going to come back. 10 seconds away until Garpy's got the champion ability for that invisibility, so he may not have a chance to spend that either. He's got to be so careful in this situation. 1 minute in, he's already lost 2 champions. This is not a good start at all.
I mean, Garpy tried to start properly, though. As soon as he spawned with the Doomslayer, he went straight in for the Berserk to try and get that speed up, but I mean, Noctis was already there. Oh, hang on. Oh, wow.
Oh,
that was just a clean direct. There was no messing around about it. That was just, he left-clicked and Garpy died.
Well, that's a good way to start a series, especially when, just remind everyone at home, this isn't quite the qualification series. You know, if you win this, you'll move on and be 1 step closer, but this isn't the one that gets you into DreamHack just yet.
The majority of the games we show will be games to qualify you for DreamHack Temple, but not this one. This one is just to get you to the next round, get you 1 step closer, but much better start for Garpy now. Noctis wasting that acid.
Oh, he's chasing it.
He is. I mean, he hasn't got the Berserk, but Doomguy is seemingly tanky for what he is.
Yeah, just that native 125 health, and then it's 50 armor on top of that. If he's got both Mega and Heavy, he's very hard to take down.
Still, though, much better now for Garpy. Oh, wow, catches with the LG. Noctis left in the middle. Oh, Noctis with that rocket. Garpy put himself in the corner, and Noctis is going to make him pay for it. Wow.
His rockets are on point, and that's the main reason he survived that fight. Catches another rocket indeed, trying to finish it. No, misses the rail. Garpy lives to fight another day, but just barely.
That would have been such a sweet sequence of weapon swaps too, like a ton of LG damage, quick swap to rocket, quick swap to rail, 1 shot off from maybe getting enough damage, but just missed that final shot with the rail, and Garpy lives to fight another day with a Sorlag.
Nice prediction on the rail, did know Noctis was going to go around that corner, but unfortunately couldn't quite get the payout. Accuracy wasn't what it should have been. And on top of him collecting that mega health and hitting the rail, I mean, that's going to be uncontested difference in damage. And he's chasing it down. Garpy goes down for a second time. I mean, Noctis is looking to be on a complete rampage at the moment.
Oh, still looking at that confidence. He missed every single shot of the acid spit, but he didn't let it deter him. He still went straight in with that LG, knowing he had the health advantage. And Garpy now, again, left to this lone Nyx. And Noctis, again, fully stacked with all these weapons. Oh, catches him out. His Ghost Walk's there. No! And Garpy goes down immediately again. And Noctis, 2 rounds up already. Just a few minutes minutes into this first map.
Well, the issue Garpy had right there was, yes, he landed the rail, but because Noctis had more than enough health and armor to tank that, the cooldown time between the rail shot was just too significant. There was nothing Garpy could do to actually prevent that damage. But is he going to go for the same start? Now, 2 rounds in a row, he popped the Berserk to sort of get that increased burst of speed. And he does try and do it again, using it early on to try and secure power-ups. The problem he's having is that he's using it early to secure power-ups, which you definitely understand. But by the time he has Berserk back, he's often losing Doomguy before he gets a chance to do anything else with the ability. You know, he only gets one use, and that's to get the item, and that's all.
Oh, that's missing that second shot. That could have been huge. Misses the third too. I mean, when you have a character as tanky as Sora, you have to take as much damage as you can just to get rid of that stack. But already teleporting out, Noctis behind. He's not just going to chase this like we've seen before. Misses all the acid, but he hasn't been deterred by that just yet. Oh, hang on. A nice quick double rocket jump. Going up towards it. Oh no, steps a toe in the acid, so Noctis can now see where he is.
Yep, that's unfortunate. Just put one toe in the acid that he shouldn't have done, and it just gave Noctis complete knowledge about where he was on the map. Very unfortunate.
It looks like each round, though, Garpy is slowly but surely able to seize a little bit of control and stability at the start of the round, at the very least. Like before, a minute in, he'd lost 2 champions, and now already Doomguy's still healthy and fully stacked on health and armor. So, much stronger start for Garpy, but a little bit of a mountain to climb to get 3 rounds in a row immediately. But I'm not going to say it's impossible, it's just going to be difficult.
Noctis going in for the kill, but he's taken a substantial chunk of damage, but I think he's being a little bit deterred. But no, wait a minute, Berserk! Is he going to commit? No, he stands in it again! That is so unbelievably unfortunate. I mean, he took a bunch of damage and trying to get away. He stands in the acid for a second time.
I like the attempt from Garpy. It looked like he popped the Berserk to try and get a longer jump to go over the acid, but just, I'm not sure if he just jumped a little bit, like a fraction of a second too late.
Oh, here comes Noctis.
Oh, but that's a nice return frag for Garpy. That was huge. Finally knocked Noctis off of this Sorlag, so now he's down to his Anarchy.
But it is going to allow him to sort of get that Mega. And another good trail of the LG. Noctis tries to fight back with the Super Nail Gun, but nowhere near enough health in that situation. But getting Anarchy out there early is always going to be important, especially with Noctis, because Noctis's Anarchy is very dangerous, and he's put in so much work with this champion. Week 1, I mean, when, we saw just the taste of how much damage Noctis can output with Anarchy, and he's been continuing with that, so getting that champion away is super important.
Oh, wow, nice rail. That was from the hip too, wow. Such a good shot. Noctis now down to barely any life, trying to rocket through. Has he got the Ghost Walk? He must be on like 1 health.
And he actually picks up 2 small healths, and actually very well could have been 1 HP right there. But Garpy, on the flip side, knowing the damage numbers of his own, he pushes in, and he's going to get a round 2.
Very clean round for Garpy. That's exactly what he needed after losing that Doomguy first immediately. I thought it could have been the beginning of the end, but able to bring it back. We said it wasn't impossible, it was just going to be tough.
Now here's the change in the tail. We started with Nyx instead. He's saving Doomguy for a little bit later. Still quite characteristic of Garpy. Like Garpy, quite often, if you watch his gameplay, he does have slow starts almost every single time he plays Duel. It does take him a couple of rounds to get going.
Still, when he does get going, Garpy, he made himself on the Maestro team for a reason. They did make QuakeCon. They got really far, but still now, Duel 1v1. We saw Garpy do relatively well at the regionals, but this is a new tournament. This is going to DreamHack Denver. This is what they're going for now. $35,000 prize pot on the line for Duel there.
Oh, this is a chance for a clean slate,
Oh, yeah,
from one major tournament straight into another. But Noctis is lying in wait in the ambushes, but he saves the Ghost Walk. If he had no Ghost Walk, he would have been RIP, but very fortunate he kept hold of it.
Speaking of unfortunate, he backed off into the wall that was covered in acid, and unfortunately had some tick damage. It would have stacked himself up quite quickly though, but Noctis,
here he is.
Rough idea where he was, and saw waiting. Oh, Rocket didn't connect too much though.
Yeah, Noctis, he's been laying those traps, but he's not quite been able to get the payout. And just before I can talk about the distinct lack of armor that Nyx had at that point, he just eats a raw rail and dies outright.
Garpy's gonna have to be careful now. Oh,
really aggressive.
Noctis getting a lot of LG here. Oh, but Garpy's gonna get the best of that 1v1 and just barely left alive, but still gonna be able to win that one. But there's a spawn, Noctis with the rocket launcher and sends him flying against the wall. Noctis gonna take that return frag. That could have been it for Garpy.
That was a great spawn. That was a fantastic spawn for Noctis. In many ways, that was actually like the perfect spawn that he wanted, because he's got Anarchy, he spawns with injection, he's right next to rocket launcher, and at that health, that is the only weapon he needed to finish the job and trade that back out once more. Garpy's got Doomguy for his final champion, and the problem he's gonna have here is the Berserk mode isn't necessarily a speed boost. It kind of simply puts Doomguy into his top speed instantly, which I believe is 550. So it's not a speed boost, but because it increases acceleration into that speed so quickly, Aniki's higher top speed will still allow him to chase that Berserk down. It will not be an escape tool in this matchup.
So the Berserk does a respectable amount of damage per punch, so if you can land a few on Aniki, if he hasn't got any armor, I mean, 76 health.
Oh, dearie
Isn't
me!
even going to get the chance. Those couple of rockets are going to do it from above, and that's going to be the first game on the board for Noctis. So that's going to be a blood run in the favor of Noctis already. So now Garpy's lost, he is going to have the opportunity to choose the map. What do you think he's going to go towards?
It's hard to pick, because most of the time, if someone picks Sorlag, they're pretty much going to pick Corrupted Keep, because that's just what large champion... I don't want to say specialist, because everyone kind of picks these champions now, but Corrupted Keep, it's a very popular counter pick stage. You know, if you're going to go into Sorlag first, you're going to be point blank. There's no rail on that map, and if you're going to be Sorlag, in many ways, LG is all you need on a map like that. A little bit of rocket launcher as well. Inclined to think that might be one of the more obvious picks, but it's kind of hard to say at this stage.
Well, the big thing about Corrupted Keep is taking the rail away from players that have an amazing rail. And we know that Noctis definitely has a great rail, if there's anything to go by. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to say there's so few maps in the game when it comes to Duel, but there isn't a huge amount with the amount these guys play. So at this point, there's definitely not a map that they don't enjoy, that they don't know how to play on, I should say. But there's definitely preferred picks for some people. Like you said, we're kind of gone beyond the point of, you know, champion specialists, right? Early on, it looked like that.
Long gone, my friend. That's
some players were kind of deviating towards that, but we are definitely now sort of in the age of, well, there's definitely some stronger picks for the meta of the game at the time. So we know that's going to be the thing for sure. But looks like we're going back in, and it looks like has Garpy picked Blood Run again?
Could have done. I think we'll find out. But this is definitely... We don't really see the same map pick twice. However, we are going in for slightly different champions, so it could very well be. We'll soon find out. But Blood Run again, that could be a matter of Garpy's essentially going, well, he did start to do a little bit better in those later rounds. And he had a bad start, like a really, really bad start. But in almost like traditional Garpy fashion, as the rounds started to progress, he started to sort of climb back into the fight and started doing a little bit better. So now if he's already found his footing in this matchup against Noctis, maybe he can kind of like keep that momentum where it is and then just further accelerate that. And he's changed champion as well. He hasn't gone in for Doom Guy this time. He's gone Slash instead.
Actually, I think we might be going back to the lobby. I think we might have a map change. We'll have to wait and see in just a few minutes. But even then, let's just...
Looks like we've gone back,
let's reflect back on what we saw beforehand. So we know that the Sorlag clearly doing work. Even if you don't hit the asset itself, the amount of damage that she can take, just thanks to her sheer, just high amount of health, seems to be a bit of a game changer in a lot of those matchups, right? Especially if you've got that strong LG that you're just like, you know, putting out so much consistent damage. And that's what we saw a big thing from Claws and Razy, that these players that really had like breakout performances at the Quake World Championships this year is being confident on that Sorlag, being confident on weapons like the LG, having that tracking ability, and just being able to do that much.
Well, it's one big thing about playing Sorlag in general. It's just knowing when you can and can't go in. And Noctis, he was already a very aggressive player. And the way he would sort of play Aniki in this game really is like an exaggeration of that. But now he's got that exact same playing style and Sorlag on top of that. But also accuracy, like the sheer amount of rockets that Noctis was able to land. But for high damage, very, very impressive. Not just a couple of directs, but just good placement in general. Every time he landed a rocket at close range, he was hitting like minimum 80 damage, which in those exchanges where he's taking a trail of LG, one rocket that is ever so slightly off, that's going to be guaranteed death because the LG will be able to match that damage. But it does look indeed like it was a little bit of a fumble pick right there. The map pick is Ruins of Sarnath instead. Now, this is where things get interesting once again because it's a map that Aniki loves. You know, this is a map that lets him sort of just run rings around anyone else. Funny enough, really, Sorlag, another one of those champions, and Nyx, I mean, she's just so staple at this stage, isn't she? That invincibility, the invisibility, just the utility that Ghostwalk brings to the table. Ruins of Sarnath is quite a unique map for all three of these champions.
But now both players go into that sort of tried and true three-champion lineup, right? The Nyx, Aniki, Sorlag. We've seen this quite often from a number of players now. I mean, it really seems to be that Nyx and Sorlag are kind of like the core to this, and the Aniki is kind of like, I don't want to say replaceable, because clearly he's a very powerful champion on almost any map in the game, but there can be situational picks depending on the players here and there that third spot can work out for. But this is going to be a straight up mirror match, same composition, maybe using them in the same order. I mean, I know we said earlier on that it was looking like Aniki was really powerful to put on that first position just to try and keep him alive as long as possible, to get as many injections, so his health is going to be constantly going up. But it seems that putting Sorlag first is the important one now, as it's sort of developed.
Yeah, because that's what really excites me I think, when we have a mirror composition where it's not going to be truly a complete mirror match unless they pick the same order, because the matchups will be different. The champions will be the same. That's where things get a little bit interesting. But here we go. Speaking of the same, it's going to be an Anarchy each. Both kickstarting this, what could be final map. If Noctis takes this, it'll be a clean 2-0, but Garpy has to win this map to stay in the fight.
So, Anarchy on Ruins of Sarnath. Now, an interesting thing about Anarchy here is he's definitely known for that top speed, that sort of like high velocity gameplay. But because of how he can move, he is tremendous at getting away from a fight. He's amazing at running away when he's low. And
the direct!
There's that direct you were just saying before, but it's going to be Garpy that gets it this time. And that's going to be the first blood going to Garpy. A much better strong for him this time. Much better start, I should say, for him this time round. Oh, another one too.
Yeah, he just got the heavy, but I don't think he worries too much about that. With 100 HP, he can still tank at least one more rail before he's got to get out of there. Noctis hasn't got an LG just yet either. So if Garpy's able to keep that LG away from Noctis, he's going to be in a little bit of a easier situation at close range. But there's the rocket, and he's going to take the tick damage. He's forced to use that injection. There is no other choice. Noctis is going to probably go in for the chase down here. He's not going to allow Garpy to restack. He tries to head him off.
From at the very least, but Noctis, mega health, slightly ticked down, but still. Going to give him a tremendous amount. Oh, he jumps down, hits the rail though, but Noctis just going to breathe that one off.
I kind of feel like Garpy went into the belly of the beast there. Like, he knew Noctis had collected LG, but he did still up to jump down and try and land that rail. If that rail missed, Noctis would have pressed the advantage, I have no doubt. But the accuracy was on point right there.
A little bit of damage coming through this LG getting traded out. Garpy quickly realizing he's not going to win that trade and gets away. Has to sacrifice mega health to do it though. Noctis, we can see, stacked himself up nice and proper and waiting for this heavy armor. Wow, Noctis. Oh, but that one rocket undid all of that armor stack. Great trade out for Garpy.
Yeah, that definitely could have been worse. That definitely could have been worse for him. But he is going to be temporarily still on the back foot. At least in this 1 versus 1. I mean, he has got the champion advantage and 2 minutes down. 3 minutes on the clock.
Already 2 minutes as well. It's actually crazy.
It's been a fast round.
How fast these rounds can go down. Oh, the acid. I think Noctis just wanted to use that to stop Garpy from just running in for the mega health.
Oh, the rail misses. Ever so slightly. Noctis convinced he was going to go towards LG, but Garpy with the very intelligent double back.
You can't underestimate how hard it is to hit Anarchy at those sort of ranges on maps like this, but you have to be able to hit them when it counts. That's the kind of play that got Noctis the first map quite convincingly. Just hitting those kind of almost impossible looking rails. A lot of LG damage coming through, but again, Garpy looking to get back.
But as fast as Sorlag is able to go, she will never be able to run as fast as Anarchy can. And we've already gone halfway through this round. So if Garpy is able to sort of play that retreating game, don't overextend, do not put himself in harm's way, he can win by the champion advantage alone.
Oh, no, misses that rail though. Not just looking for this heavy armor, gonna get it again.
I feel like if you're going to play this retreating style, that you gotta make sure you're hitting those rails, because if you're missing them, you're not really keeping the opponent on the back foot anyway. They're going to be able to sort of continue to sort of freely chase you. And when you inevitably go into close range, they have more than enough stack to just chew through the health that you've got.
But when you have anyone that isn't Anarchy trying to chase after Anarchy, it very much becomes a game of cat and mouse. You know, Anarchy wants to just run away and keep that distance as much as possible, doesn't want to get caught. And you know, the other champion being usually a bit tankier but a bit slower, as soon as you can get your hands on him and you can take him down, you're then in that driver's seat, because you're going to be winning the trade with more health and armor at the end of it. But right now, Garpy, only a minute and a half left, he has to stall out. If he is content on running away for this long, he will win the round, but if Noctis stays as stacked as
here comes the mega.
It's going to be difficult. They're going to fight for this. Oh, turned around at just the moment he came around the corner. Can't go for this mega health. Too much acid. Garpy has to concede this. And once again, going to give it up to Noctis, but time is still on the side.
Look at the difference in stack. If Noctis wants to fight this and he catches him at any point, he's likely to go down. 1 minute on the clock. Garpy survived for 4. Just needs to survive 1 more. He's got injection too. He's probably not going to get any more injections though, so he's not going to be able to go above that 80 HP.
I mean, this is actually a deceivingly stressful situation for Garpy to be in, because we've seen how quickly Sorlag can just melt down your health, especially if you're a champion. Oh, he's close by.
Oh, he's fumbling his movement. If Noctis was chasing that down, he may have actually punished those couple of errors.
Maybe, fortunately for Garpy, Noctis wasn't quite there, but Garpy needs to get some armor now. There we go. You can't be left with no armor as Anarchy against someone like Noctis if you have less than 80 health.
I mean, that's it, right? That's one rail in a dream. If he's got no armor and he's not at 80 or plus HP, he's going to go down in one shot. Doesn't matter how much work you've done. Did Noctis just clock him there? I don't know if he actually saw him.
No, he mustn't have done. Garpy immediately went the other way. 15 seconds left to go. Garpy sticking to this runaway strategy. It's going to work.
He found him!
Noctis is there. He has to run. Oh, no, 13 health. Noctis. There we go. There's the speed of Anarchy. That is exactly why this strategy works. No one can keep up to Anarchy unless you are Anarchy or maybe even a Slash. Chicken. There we go. Noctis, not too happy
I've got to
about
say, that rocket jump near teleporter was clutch.
Yeah.
That was such an amazing decision, because if he fumbled that or if he misplaced it by half a second, the LG would have done sufficient damage. He would have gone out, and that would have been a complete waste of effort. But he got it right when he needed to. But hang on, there's the LG. Noctis hasn't got an LG to return, and the injection will guarantee Garpy's survival. Getting the LG early on, that was the pivotal change in that 1 versus 1 just then.
Okay, now we saw this last time. Garpy took the first frag almost immediately, but then had 5 minutes to try and run away and keep that distance. Noctis wasn't able to do anything. Now Garpy took that first round. He can start going for the exact same strategy again if he wants. The only difference here now is that Noctis started with Sorlag, not Anarchy. So at least Noctis is trying to keep up to Anarchy with a champion that has the exact same speed. Still though, if Noctis loses in Anarchy, that's going to be disastrous for him. There's LG coming through.
Looking like he's probably going to, even with the injection. The problem with the injection is, yes, you're going to get full health, but temporarily, during that injection animation, you are unable to shoot, and that's going to be free damage in a 1 versus 1.
Much better start to this map for Garpy, though. That first round, I mean, that was a demoralizing way to lose as well. Garpy really sort of sucking the life out of Noctis's game style there.
Is it just me, or are all the Maestro guys just ridiculous on Ruins? It's just such a good map for, like, every time one of these guys picks this map, it does really well.
I like this map. Right, oh, the Ghost Walk, there's the ambush. No, Noctis missed the rocket launcher. There's the injection from Garpy.
Oh,
and there
dear.
we go, an easy frag for Garpy. Noctis, unfortunately, he had the jump on Garpy. He came out, but missed the rocket. Noctis giving props in chat, though, showing that respect.
Well, it was definitely a combination of Noctis missing rockets and Garpy's, like, dodging of the rockets, and his prediction on where Noctis was going to fire being just on point. Like, the second he went in for those rockets, he would immediately strafe the other direction. That's just good reads, 100%. Catches him near rocket, knows it's going to be an uncontested heavy. We're going to go take a look at Noctis for a bit, actually, and kind of see how he manages to chase down the way Garpy's been playing, because we've been watching Garpy this entire series, but I think we'll take a switch and see how Noctis approaches this.
Well, last time we saw Noctis start with Sorlag to try and catch him, but lost Sorlag straight away, and wasn't quite able to go toe-to-toe with the Anarchy. I don't think Noctis is quite as confident taking out his Anarchy with that Sorlag. At least at the start. There we go, they're going to get the mega health, got loads of OG damage coming through. All the injections popped. Noctis is able to escape. Very even on health right here, but Garpy a tiny bit of armor. The heavy armor goes to Noctis. This is huge if he doesn't mess this up, but no, Garpy is going to get the frag anyway. Noctis missing way too many rockets, and Garpy is going to win that trade.
He's just been unable to get the damage he needs in those exchanges, and I feel like it's a matter of Noctis is like dedicating towards the rocket, but on the flip side, Garpy just sticking to the LG, and because his trail on that is good, he's just coming off way better in those exchanges.
I mean, haven't we actually seen Garpy use a weapon that isn't LG yet? It really has been his sort of go-to.
Oh my!
But no, doesn't need it. The acid point blank. A melted Anarchy completely and utterly.
Oh my days! Can you say wrecked? Oh my god, he gets it again!
Wow.
The same spawn twice in a row!
Oh
That's so unfortunate!
That was so dirty. that was so dirty from Noctis.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Just a little bit.
This just, I mean, that was Noctis just, he knew what to do, right? He knows the spots, he knows how to make it happen. There's the mega health, just went towards Garpy. I mean, I still can't believe what we just saw.
I'm still getting over it.
That was filth of the highest degree.
But Garpy, with the last minute pickup on that mega, he's still back in this fight. More than happy to get some armor. And
I mean, if Garpy is able to win the round after that, like, I will be amazed.
It's just one of the most unfortunate turns of events.
I know. Incredible stuff. But Noctis, you know, looking to start this round, but Garpy still up 2 rounds. Now it's going to be Noctis that needs to get 3 in a row, even though he's off to an amazing start this time. He's only 1 champion in the lead, and tremendously down on round, so he has to be careful. And Garpy's going in for the kill.
Using the downtime against him, but no, he answers back, and this is quite an interesting element. We have 2 Sorlags, 1 versus... Oh, wow!
He just ran out, blade in hand, revving at full speed, and was like, come here, Garpy, come here. Oh, there you are.
That was one of the best rounds I think I've ever seen. I mean,
oh, dear.
Completely. But before I can even finish, when it was Sorlag versus Sorlag in that exchange, because Sorlag takes no tick damage on the acid in a mirror situation, he was able to survive that. You know, it actually would have been a trade, and he wouldn't have even needed Nyx if it wasn't for Sorlag. There's these little passives that You would never think on paper they would make a big difference, but in duel, they really do.
So though, back to this Anarchy start again. If Noctis can take out this first champion, he might be able to start to tie things up, but I think Garpy's Anarchy has been tremendous so far.
Oh, fantastic rocket right there. Really well placed.
I think a big part of this, though, is just kind of controlling the Mega health. Noctis hasn't quite had the same level of control over the Mega and Heavy at the start of the round. It definitely has seemed that Garpy's kind of got the better of him there in those situations. It's been when sort of Garpy has almost been trying to run away and hasn't been prioritizing the Mega and Heavy as well, frequently.
Well, just take a look at the contrast, right? They're both playing Anarchy, but Noctis is playing at such a slower pace. Like, he's standing his ground a lot more, whereas Garpy is sort of playing that constant hit and run style. I mean, they're both playing the same champion, but the style they're adapting is so different to one another right now. Noctis content just sort of walking, you know, sitting in one place and just listening out for where Garpy might be. Catches him at a Mega, you know, or a Heavy location, and then taking the fight there.
So they're trading out damage for damage. Noctis picking up these little healths a little bit one at a time. Garpy getting out, realizes he hasn't quite got the health here yet. Ooh. Oh, Rail didn't quite connect. That would have been huge for Garpy. Wouldn't have killed Noctis, but would have got very low. Going to see the Mega health can be picking up any second now. Heavy can get traded out by Garpy, yes, at the exact same time.
Noctis only has one rocket left, though, so he's probably going to make the trail around to get a few more of those.
Yes, indeed. Back up to 10.
Oh, nice.
What a rail from Garpy.
Very clean.
No, he misses the follow-up.
Oh, but not that one. He manages to land the crucial rail, and he's back in the lead.
Really good start for Garpy, though, even after Noctis starting this comeback. If Garpy can snuff it here and tie things up one map apiece, that's going to be a really good way just to stop that momentum completely. Tie things up 100%.
Now, if you're going to face off against Sorlag, you've got to be as stacked as possible. Gets hit by the trail. I don't know how much that injection's going to help out, but unfortunately not quite able to survive that. But Anarchy versus Sorlag Spit, it's very unlikely he's going to walk away with that one alive.
Oh, Ghost Walk already popped.
Oh, I actually want to check. Did he get the OG? He did manage to collect it, but it's not enough. That's unfortunate. I actually think that would have been a really clutch Ghost Walk if he was able to get LG and then go invisible. He was able to, but when he re-emerged, he couldn't survive the fight.
Spawn point again. You didn't notice that. Right as Garpy spawned, there were rockets flying right next to him.
Well, I guess sometimes there's no reason not to, right? Like, just in case they spawn there. Just in case they spawn there, you get a bit of free damage.
That map awareness, that there's so much going into Quake duels that you don't see on face value alone. Just the sheer amount of stuff that the players have to be thinking about at any given moment. Oh, there's the ambush, waiting for it, a direct! Oh, who's going to come off the best here?
Noctis is very weak! And he gets the rocket. Down to Nyx.
Now this is a make or break frag for Noctis. If he can win this one, he's going to tie up 2 rounds apiece. If Garpy wins, we're going to go to 1 map apiece. We're going to go down to a 3rd and final map. That's a lot of stack on the side of Garpy, though, a lot of health.
The saving grace that Noctis has got his Ghost Walk, so if he gets caught in a precarious situation, point blank with the Acid Spit, he can survive. But, I mean, only once per 40 seconds.
But if he gets caught point blank with the Acid Spit, he's going to have to be quick about the activation, because before you know it, you've lost everything.
Well, he laid the trap, but Garpy didn't bite, opting to go straight for the heavy armor instead.
Just up for another few seconds, though. Mega health is going to be any second, though, instead.
They're content just taking that trade-off, I think.
Let's see why not. A minute left on the clock before overtime, but it's really going to matter when they've only got 1 champion left. So just constantly waiting for it. There's the Ghost Walk.
Part of me thinks Garpy may have seen it, but no, actually, no, he didn't see the effect at all. That's a huge amount of uncontested LG, but Noctis is still incredibly weak. He's got to be so careful here.
Trying to get health pickup, but still only 50 health. That really isn't a lot when you're trying to face off against Sorlag. Stack up back to 75. Still weak to rails. Remember, champions, if you have less than 80 health and no armor, rail will one-shot you.
Point blank!
What a rocket! Oh, wow, I'm very surprised that Noctis actually dropped that frag. He got 3 really strong rockets, but it just didn't seem to do enough.
I mean, that's just testament to how dangerous Sorlag is when she gets a stack. I mean, that was a huge amount of impressive rockets. Almost every single one of them were direct. But it still wasn't enough. And against someone like Nyx, who has some of the absolute lowest health, in many ways actually the lowest health in the game, you can't survive that. You know, he hits you for 3, you hit him once, and that's it. The odds are in your favor because you just have a higher stack.
Still, though, well played from Garpy. Garpy was prioritizing the right stack at the right time. You know, I think he was definitely favoring armor at the end there, just knowing that having just the sheer amount of armor that she can stack up to on Sorlag. I mean, it can make the difference there. I mean, you saw it, right? 3, I don't want to say 3 direct rockets, because it wasn't quite that powerful, but it was 3 heavy-hitting rockets, and Sorlag was able to just laugh it off.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause I feel like that's if you prioritizing armor when you're playing a champion like Sorlag is very important because your natural health pool is already very high. So being able to like overcharge that armor is just going to help you a little bit more because your natural health is already ridiculous. So that kind of situation, well, the proof's in the pudding, right? I think we all just saw. But we're going to go back to that one amazing round that Noctis had, where he just went point blank, like full speed ahead into Garpy's face. I don't think he was prepared for it. And then he got the good read on the spawn, and that was kind of all she wrote. And then at the last minute, that little gauntlet as well. I mean, that was a stylish round. But Ruin to Sarnath was Garpy's choice. So he's come off better in that, but he was able to pick a map that he was a bit more comfortable on. What do we think the final map's going to be?
Well, it looks like it's going to be Corrupted Keep.
Oh, it is.
It's going to be Noctis's choice. I mean, that's the benefit you get, right? If you win the first map, but lose the second, your reward for winning that first map is going to be you get that final map choice. So you know the final map in the series is going to be one that you've picked. You're arguably most comfortable out of what is left. I don't see why you wouldn't pick one that you're really just feeling strong on. But Corrupted Keep is a very aggressive map. Not a lot of space. I mean, we have to remember, that very first round, Garpy got off just playing the map really well. You know, that runaway style, that very defensive, I'm going to run the clock down. That basically doesn't work on Corrupted Keep. If you can run away for 5 minutes uncontested on this map, you deserve to win. Especially with the champions that get picked here. Like, it is not easy to run away for that long on this map. It's so small, and there's so many tight corridors, and especially when Sorlag is as powerful as she is here, Anarchy can be.
Nyx once more.
Yeah, it's going to be, again, the same composition back-to-back. Nyx, Sorlag, and Anarchy for both of them on Corrupted Keep to finish things off. Only one player is going to make it through here. And this isn't even to qualify for Denver. This is just to get to the next stage to qualify for Denver. So still very much all to play for, not even remotely finished at this point.
Well, we look at some of the players that have been invited by... Well, obviously, invitation, the ones that are guaranteed for DreamHack. And we have the likes of, you know, Dahang, Rafa, Vu, Toxic. These guys are already confirmed and they will be there. But there's so many talented players all having to really slug it out across EU and NA for the spots at DreamHack Denver. And they're going to have to fight hard for it. Noctis is playing incredibly well. We had an amazingly dominant map #1. Garpy with the turnaround on Ruins did benefit him greatly, but he had to fight for that too. I mean, he had 2 great rounds, but it went pear-shaped in round 3 and almost didn't quite work out in round 4 as well. But this final map, and because Noctis won that first map, he gets the luxury of choosing that final advantageous situation for himself.
Still though, third and final map, same composition once again. What do you think the start's going to be? Back to double Anarchy, maybe Sorlag?
It's either double Anarchy or double Sorlag, and it's looking like they're going to go double Anarchy for the final time. This is our final map between these two guys. They've played incredibly well, but only one player can move on in this upper bracket. It's taking a huge amount of damage. Garpy with the super shotgun. A quick cleanup right there.
I actually love the way the super shotgun is used on this map specifically. You don't see too much of it outside of Sacrifice in a lot of maps, but here, because it's just such a close range map, I mean, it can do so much damage so quickly. And Garpy hasn't got any health around. Oh, hang on a minute. Mega Health will do just a good enough job to get him back up to full.
He survives for now. And he has the champion advantage, but you said it yourself earlier, running away for 5 minutes on this map is easier said than done. It is so close range. You walk around one corner and there's a Sorlag with Acid Spit good to go. You are dead. It doesn't matter who you are.
But it does take double range.
That Super Nail Gun, Super Nail Gun's very popular on this map as well. 20 damage per hit. Popular sort of range-based tool, just keep the opponent at bay, keep them at arm's reach. Denying teleporters too.
Still though, back to back. Garpy is able to get hold of that Mega Health. Hard, I mean, he is kind of getting the best of these 1v1s now, consistently time after time. Still though, Noctis has the heavy armor at least. There's the trap! Oh, but missed some of the direct acid, gets a little bit of damage over time. There's the injection pop, but can't shoot back, and Noctis will take full advantage. Even things out, back to Sorlag versus Sorlag.
Felt like it might have been a death sentence right there, going in for that jump pad, because he just guaranteed all that LG on top of himself. It's a risk you take, 100%.
You have to be careful, those jump pads are the quickest way around the map, but they do have their consequences.
Noctis has so much armor, he is more than comfortable taking this fight. And he's chasing it as well. Garpy's in big trouble.
Noctis still trying to... Oh, I like that turnaround from Garpy. Noctis made the read that he was going to finish his path, but decided to turn around. Garpy with sneaky stuff. Mega Health could be up in a few seconds. Noctis point up and let him get this for free.
Oh no!
Left with no health, and Noctis is going to take the frag down and maybe take this first round. Ghost Walk popped immediately from Garpy. Do you think Garpy was expecting him to maybe catch the spawn?
Oh, I mean, he was right there, right? I mean, like, he used the Ghost Walk immediately just in case, and he had no choice but to use it, because if he didn't, he would have been dead for free, and that would have been a Nyx down before he had the chance to do anything. Oh, hang on a minute, yeah, springs his attack. Guaranteed death. I mean, just jump straight on top of him with a rocket launcher. He's a Nyx, fresh on spawn with no armor. What can you really do?
I mean, the problem there was no Ghost Walk. That is what it boiled down to there. The whole point of Ghost Walk is to have it so when you do get ambushed or surprised like that, you are able to pop the Ghost Walk, get out of that fight. They have to make the read on where you're going to go, so the odds are usually in your favor, but to not have it when the fight starts, you are just a relatively immobile, point-blank character with no ability to get yourself out of there.
Garpy's been forced to use the injection very early too. Noctis still having his means he's going to have that edge. Mainly to escape, but not really to survive a fight, but to get out of danger.
Garpy tries to run away, he can pop the injection for a speed boost. Not too typical, but no, that's going to be a frag for sure. Noctis turns around immediately as well.
Oh, he gets the spawn again!
Goodness. Noctis just has that map knowledge just on lock completely.
A lot of guaranteed damage that Garpy couldn't really do much about. He's not going to have a Ghost Walker Sorlag. I mean, he is going to be
he's got
kind of free to that, but look how little health he's got. He's trying to fight back, but I mean, just even the start of machine gun's going to cause him a headache. How much health is he on right now? 25.
He's still alive. He has a little bit of armor. Throw a bit of a lifeline here if Noctis to chase that. Or isn't even going to need to. Use the teleport to try to catch the spawn again. Oh, you see Garpy tried to delay his spawn, but Noctis didn't let go. Still stayed there, and Garpy forced again to Ghost Walk early on spawn. He's going to go down here. I'm not sure. Noctis tries to injection away. Garpy goes to the teleporter again.
I mean, had he not had injection, I assume Garpy probably would have actually been able to finish that off, but unfortunately, because he did, he was forced in a situation he did not want to be in. That is going to be match point for Noctis. And the issue is, he's getting these good spawns every single time. He's forcing Ghost Walk the second Nyx respawns, which means that when he next finds her, it's a long time before she's got that safety option. And if she's not got it, she's going to be free. There's not much she can do.
Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Because if Garpy Ghost Walks immediately, he doesn't have it for the next fight that Noctis will definitely try and force out. If he doesn't use it, he's going to eat most of his life, if not maybe risk all of it, at dying to a nail gun the second he respawns.
So win-win for Noctis when he puts himself in that situation. He's standing his ground and he gets one good rocket. Nice. But that injection always going to pop him up to max HP. Not just that, obviously an increased 1 HP on his max health. Not that we'll really have a chance to see that stack up too much on this map. Anarchy really can survive only for so long against a Sorlag unless he gets a fantastic start. I just love this level of just... Noctis has been consistently laying those traps. Like, he's so content just sitting there and waiting. Listening out for where Garpy might be, you know. And when he sees him go around a corner, surprise. And Garpy's never ready for him.
Well, you said last time, right? They might both be playing the same lineup, but they do play some of the champions differently. Garpy has been going for that sort of hit and run style with Anarchy. And Noctis has gone for this sort of like extended engagements, more, I suppose, like a more neutral focused Anarchy, which works better on this map, I think. And this was Noctis' choice. The sort of hit and run style of Anarchy. It's worked too good on Corrupted 2 so far.
Oh no, he just got caught point blank, but Garpy wasn't able to get anything substantial. That's unfortunate.
Mega health not going to be up for a little while too, but at least Noctis finds himself lower in health and armor at the moment. So if he can fight, Garpy might come off better here.
Oh, unfortunately, it just, he went flying right there.
He kind of caught some serious air. You guys see that? Sick ragdoll. Still though, jumping down, forced into the teleporter, and Garpy again ahead on health and armor here.
Now, that's one start that Garpy needs, but Noctis going full speed ahead, using the rocket damage to try and just steal away the heavy, but it doesn't work out one bit.
Noctis really sort of starting to stick to these fights through thick and thin, but it isn't really paying off anymore. Garpy is consistently able to out-damage him here now. Garpy looking like he's probably going to take this round, but we are only 2 minutes in.
This is definitely a tall order. I mean, he's probably going to get Garpy here, but no, the Ghost Walk. He's chasing it down. He knows how weak Garpy is. He can finish the job, and he does just that. Was it next or Anarchy? It's going to go in Anarchy.
1 down, 2 to go, but he doesn't have any stack yet. Get himself back up to full health, has to get the armor if he can help it, but it's going to be difficult. Still a little bit away from respawning because Anarchy's already there. Oh, hang on, he scored him. Garpy, there we go. Wonderful follow-up. Garpy quick 2 rockets to take down Noctis, taking his first round of this final map.
I mean, that retaliation rocket from Noctis almost connected too. I mean, that was literally a hair's length away from being direct and probably killing Anarchy. But not today. This is a tall order for Garpy. He has no choice but to take 3 straight rounds. It's 3 straight round comeback, and that's it. There's no option. Otherwise, he's not going to be in this bracket anymore.
Still, though, a couple more rounds like that, you can definitely do it. But a big part of that, I think, was Noctis just wasn't quite making the right decisions at the time, but very unlike him.
Here's another difference, too. Garpy's gone in for Sorlag first, Noctis going in with Anarchy instead. So we can kill Anarchy early on, which Garpy looks like he's in good form to do. Even with the injection, Garpy will still have more stack in this situation. But that'll be short-lived when this heavy armor spawns.
But in the pickup, it seems. I don't think Garpy wants to make it too obvious.
And it looks like Garpy's delaying it too. Yeah, they just pick up 1 each. Both had the same idea right there, but Garpy with more health. Even after the injection, he still has more health.
Noctis is going to know where he is, though. He was able to get a lot of health and armor, but still, careful.
Honestly, does Garpy have a rocket launcher? No, he doesn't. That might be an ace in the hole if Noctis can catch a good fight.
I mean, yeah, Garpy only has no G. It has been his sort of best weapon, it seems, in the series so far, so don't count him out just yet.
Well, I know that it's Sorlag. In many ways, no G is all she needs, but Noctis has been hitting some impressive rockets. She's got that bigger hitbox. The more characters in the game, has got one of the chunkiest hitboxes. Easier to hit with those directs, for sure.
But we are starting to go towards a minute and a half into this round, so pretty time left on the clock to try and get this one back the normal way, but still, can't forget, Noctis is currently on match point. If he wins this round, he is going to be eliminating Garpy and moving on.
I love the choice to go for that machine gun instead. Just confident dodging those super nails, doing a little bit of hit scan damage of his own with that machine gun. Good call. Just being very careful. I don't think he wants to really overextend too much. If he can play for this time limit in any way and get a sudden death, and he needs 1 frag instead of 3, it might be a better situation for him. The problem is, if he overextends too much, he's going to walk right into a Sorlag with Acid Spit and an LG, and if history has taught us anything, is that that is a dangerous combination.
Actually looks like a bit of a role reversal.
Oh no, he stands in the Acid! Is he dead? No, he gets the Mega! But the damage numbers was all Garpy needed to know exactly where he was.
That was such a great development for Garpy. It's going to put Noctis onto this Sorlag, but Garpy does have the lead. 2.5 minutes. He is 2.5 minutes away from maybe tying things up 1 round apiece in this final map, but still plenty of time for Noctis to make this one his own, but it'll be difficult.
This is such a hard-fought match for both sides. Trying to deny the heavy just by a small time, but he took a lot of damage trying to do it, and wow! Super shotgun at point blank. I mean, it can do like 120 damage, but he gets a good spawn again. Garpy, unfortunately, has been spawning there every single time.
Forced to use the injection early as well with those hourglasses. Going to do a good job bringing it back up, but Noctis knew where he was going to be. 3 health, picks up 1, but no, Noctis is still hot on the trail and brings himself down to 1 champion away from moving on over Garpy.
Now, he doesn't get max damage in that exchange, but it's still probably going to be enough. He needs 1 more life, and he's moving on right here. Garpy's in so much trouble. No health, no armor.
What concerns me is that Garpy's left on his Nyx, which we've probably seen the least out of his 3 champions so far. The only thing that stands between him and elimination in this tournament.
Or at the very least, elimination in this bracket, this upper bracket. Health is quite even, but if he chases too hard, he's going to walk right into an Acid Spit. No Acid Ticks. That's very fortunate. That would have killed Garpy if he stood in it. He has to fight, and I think he acknowledges he has no choice. But no, he's opting to go.
No, it's because we can see that Garpy doesn't have a lot of health either. Garpy up to that fight and lost.
Oh!
That was a great decision from Garpy to get away at that time. He was able to stack himself up just a little bit, and he has the heavy armor too.
That was a good choice. I mean, like, I think he instead of trying to go in for the fight, he wanted to almost like deny exit points, and it worked out for him. I was a little bit worried for a second. Noctis, he's going in for the Ghost Walk. Is he using it aggressively? Yes, he's using it aggressively. Is it going to pay off? Garpy is so much weaker.
It's very close now.
Oh!
A little bit. 1 more hit of LG will do it. Gets the toe from below, and there we go. Garpy is going to drop down, and Noctis is going to be